today we are at a vernal pool in New Bedford, and a vernal pool is a type of wetland. It's a temporary wetland, so it's not here all the time. Some are fed by a little bit of groundwater, some are from precipitation, but the main thing is that they're temporary. So this vernal pool will dry up at the end of the summer. So all the water that's in here now, during the summer months, it'll be really hot, so it'll evaporate and get drier and drier as the summer goes on. And then in the spring we get a lot of rain and it'll fill up again. Sometimes we get some fall rain, so there might be some water in the winter as well. Some vernal pools don't dry up every year, but it's every few years. But because they're temporary, it makes them a really tricky place to live because your habitat is disappearing every so often. So the things that live in here have to be kind of hardy, and they have to be able to adapt to changing conditions. These are spotted salamander eggs that are in the water here. They're a little bigger than the wood frog eggs, and there tend to be less of them in a group. And they have a thicker, sort of like a jelly layer on the outside, so they hold their structure a little bit more. But spotted salamanders come into the pool in the springtime, usually after a nice night rain. And they'll breed, lay their eggs, and then go back up into the woods. So they only, I think, go about a half mile from the vernal pool. So they're around in the woods, don't go too far, but they don't stay in the water the rest of the year. They go back to their habitat. So if you look at these closely, there's more of them and they're smaller. And then they're like, I think they're just droopier, kind of like, I picture myself like, kind of like thick boogers or something. So when you lift the stick up, they just kind of go like they sort of flop over, whereas the salamander eggs are stiffer and they hold their shape a little more. This is the caddisfly larva, and they like to build protective structures for themselves. So if you look at this one closely, it just looks like it's made out of little pieces of pine needles, and the larva actually sort of glues them together and makes a little structure for itself. Its body is on the inside, and every once in a while you'll see it poke its head out. And you can see them, if you look really closely in the water, you'll see them moving around. It just looks like a little, just a little piece of pine needle moving around the bottom.